Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I want to show you how to create your very first product on Creative Market. All right, guys, so let's get into it. How do you even create your first digital product on Creative Market or even to sell for your online shop? So the first thing that I would highly recommend is to figure out what kind of work do you already create or want to create. So you got to ask yourself if you've got work that you can redesign, rebrand, repackage to fit a specific niche or market. You also want to strategize on past projects that you've created digital assets for that you can repurpose. That's kind of where I would start, and I can walk you through the process of researching what's already out there. So we're going to start with Creative Market, the website. And from here, we're going to search what already exists. So you can see where your competition lies and if it is even worth creating something that is already saturated in the marketplace. If there are specific things that you're thinking about creating, whatever products you're thinking about, I would say if there's something already out there that you had thought about creating, is you can actually recreate something similar, but also putting your own twist, your own style, or your own theme to it. Let's research what's already out there. And so the first place that I want you guys to go to is the Creative Market website. So taking a quick look on their homepage, what they're showcasing, this is kind of like the vibe that we're getting. And you can even take a look at their 2022 design trends, and that's pretty helpful to me too, so that I can see what people are creating. So some of the trends that are happening right now are groovy, that 70s funk. So you can kind of take a look at some of the collections that they've curated and put together. There's also what's called Inner Worlds. I haven't actually dived into this, but it looks really interesting. So they've got collages, mystic symbols, that kind of thing, and women's self-care guide, healthcare guide. The here and now, hazy textures, light effects, and it's got those motion blurs. So I would take a look at these themes and see if they actually speak to you, and from there pivot into some of these themes. This is really smart, the Great Resignation. So it looks like a bunch of different resumes and cover letters, and then they've got the Y2k Grunge, which to me seems like a throwback to the 90s. I actually grew up in the 90s, went to high school during the 90s, so this is kind of an interesting spin on the Y2k Grunge. If you don't know what Y2k is, it's like from 1999, 2000, that whole Y2k scare with the internet or computers. I would do a quick Google search to figure out what it is and how you can even understand to create for this specific theme. And then they've got local business themes to, graphics to support smaller businesses, to create pre-made templates that can help them. We'll scroll down to Web3 for all. A bunch of different website UI kits, NFT mobile UI kits, and then sustainable packaging icons, digital campfire. So these are what's trending right now, and you can see down here, these are the keywords that are kind of trending right now. I would take a look at some of these keywords and pivot from there. For example, let's just go into small business. Once you click on a keyword, it'll bring you here, and whatever comes up as the first, second, third products is what's probably trending right now. This is kind of an interesting concept. Let's take a look at this one. So I've seen Gumroad have this very flat lines with the gradient. I've seen other graphics with this same sense of style and design, and I'm seeing a lot of Squarespace sites with this kind of design. I would take a look at that if that's something you're interested in, but you can see all of these different Squarespace website templates, bundles related to the online coach, maybe foodie websites. I would just take a look at some of these trending topics and figure out where you fit into this marketplace. Let's go back to the Creative Market homepage. So as I come back here, they pretty much change this homepage header image to showcase different artists, different styles, and then I would take a look at what's on the homepage. If you're into hand lettering and you know how to make fonts, I think fonts are popular right now, and they're a good way for you to start making sales on your Creative Market shop. And then, there's popular graphics. There's also an area that I like, which is the staff picks. So we'll explore the staff picks really quick. If you do a quick search on Google, Creative Market staff picks. So if you do a quick search on that, formerly known as hand pick section, it's their curated selection of new products that they love. So their team personally curates and selects the new items based on overall quality, complete detailed listing, and 3 to 4 effective product displays. These are staff picks, what Creative Market thinks are really good products right now. And I would take a look at some of these examples and what makes them really good product. This is a very nicely curated list of products right here. I would say this whole collection is varied, and I like the variation of all the different types of products that they've put here. The next thing that I want you to take a look at is the Creative Market blog. If you just go to creativemarket.com/blog, they do have a post on top 20 products on Creative Market. This is for 2021, but I'm sure you can find 2022. I don't know if that is even out yet, but it'll give you a pretty good sense of what products did really well for 2021 and kind of like what's setting the stage right now for 2022. I think this is very helpful to go here and see what's trending, what kind of products are getting bought. This will help you to narrow down on your idea. The other thing that I would suggest is going on Instagram, looking at different design portfolios or different profiles on Instagram and even Pinterest to see what's trending right now. And so I want to do a quick exercise on keyword research. Let's say we wanted to do a quick search on geometric abstract pattern. Let's take a look at that. And let's do patterns just so that we can see what's already out there. And so what you can actually do is when you do repurpose some of your products, something that you've created, figure out what niche or what trend or what theme it can fit into. And so this is actually pretty much still on trend, the bold abstract geometric shapes. And this is kind of like what I'm seeing on Google as far as like color themes and what other people have created. While that's open, we're gonna do the same thing on Creative Market. Let's just go back to their homepage and we're going to do geometric abstract shapes. Once I do a search on that, this is kind of what's trending on the Creative Market site. That's kind of interesting, and you can see what they're offering. But since I did shapes, now let's do patterns because I want to see what's trending with these geometric patterns. Okay, not bad. There is a mix of things, and what I'm seeing here is sort of like black and white is something that's trending, something very abstract like this. There's a bunch of different shapes. So for example, this one is combining geometric abstract shapes with the very 70s or retro color scheme. So the orange and the yellow and the black, and some very grayed out darker values like this turquoise right here. Bohemian patterns probably will fit this overall theme that we're researching. There's also vibrant pattern, and then Art Deco just kind of got thrown in there. You can see that these are all kind of in line with this specific theme. So that's a good way to go about it. And once you're done doing the research on all of these different sources on Creative Market, doing the Google search and trying to figure out what you want to create based on the colors that you're seeing, I mean, by all means, you can download an image and color sample from the colors that you're interested in creating. So after you do a bunch of research and narrow down what you're going to create for your first product, I would recommend doing some concept sketches, generating some quick ideas into small thumbnails. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Here are some example thumbnails that I actually wanted to show you. These are initial sketches that I had created for one of my past products. This is for the boho landscape creator that I have in my Creative Market shop. If you're interested in checking that full product out, I'll link the actual boho landscape video below, but I thought I'd share with you my initial ideas. I'll walk you through some of the thought and intent about creating this product. I wanted to show you guys the creative process that I take when coming up with new designs and illustrations for my shop. Everyone has their own creative process that works for them, and if you're interested in a future video where I do talk more in depth about my creative process, comment below and let me know if you'd like to see something like that. Anyways, this whole entire thing here is pretty much a brain dump of some of the ideas that I had swimming in my head, and I wanted to organize some of the concepts I was thinking about. This is actually after I had done all the research online, looked at a couple of different images, and thought through what I wanted to create based on what I was seeing out there in the marketplace, and also thinking about how I can make my product stand out and be unique amongst a sea of graphics out there. Because I've been creating products for the past 6 years now for my shop, I also think about what kind of mock-ups that I would put this on so that it can appeal to people who can find my products useful. So some of the things that I have written down here as sketches are the size. This actual product is 8.5 by 11. Initially, I had thought about creating this for the purpose of creating your own wall art. So kind of like a do-it-yourself. I wanted to create a size where it can scale up in case they wanted to print it on an 11 by 17 frame and put it on their walls. Those are some of the things I think about. And then Photoshop, Canva, obviously this is actually a Photoshop product. And then I thought about, okay, maybe this can also be really good for Canva. In this final product, this actually comes in PNG files so that you can upload it into Canva or open it in Photoshop or any other design program that supports PNG files with the transparent background. Initially, these are some of the layouts that I was thinking about, and I know they look so simple, so basic, and so plain, but they actually help me to think through my own process. So whatever helps you think about some of the ideas you have, whether they're writing things into form, like here I have written down how many color palettes I wanted to create. So some in gold and pink, background watercolor textures. And then I had written here mocked up in baby rooms, living rooms, pillows, stationery, that kind of thing. I hope this gives you an idea of how I start creating things. So the final product is this. They're basically 8 by 10 layouts. They're PSD files. You can open them in Photoshop. All of these shapes and pieces are standalone images. The landscapes, they're actually just black and white, and I also include a vector illustration file. This is my initial folders when I put together a product, and I like to label the folders just so that when customers are buying this product, they'll have a clear idea of how to look for things. And I also include a thank you note with some basic details like how to contact me, how to use this product. I also include links of where they can find me online. This product includes pre-made layout, and then I include the layouts in JPEG format as well. So if they wanted to use this product as is, also include other things like texture. So you'll see here, these are actual textures that I made in Procreate, saved it out as a PNG and JPEG. And then I've also got color palettes, different textures and different colors. And so I actually created solid colors with the same brush texture that I just filled the entire canvas with. So that's just like some insight into creating a product for my online shop. When you start your products or start creating a product, everything stems from an idea. And sketching it out onto paper also helps us streamline the process. This is kind of a way to organize your thoughts, your ideas, some of the things that you have in mind for creating. So this is essentially the planning stage in how you're going to go about starting your product. So I hope you guys found this video useful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. More than happy to do more in-depth videos on the creative process. If you're interested in having me break down the process to any of the products that are currently on my shop, and you guys are very interested in taking a look at the creative process from start to finish, I would be more than happy to walk you through that process. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.